what I want to say on this question is as follows, right? If we say every single time Allah is, first of all, Allah is saying or emphasizing the fact that the Quran has been revealed in Arabic, clearly because the Prophet, peace be upon him, is an Arab. His people are Arabs. He has a mission to bring them back to monotheism. And so he is being facilitated, supported, empowered with an Arabic revelation, right? And as we know from elsewhere, we haven't sent any messenger to except by the or with the language of his people. All messengers were sent from within those people or with the language of the people at the very least, so that they could communicate to their people and get the message across. Like, I know it sounds like it sounds almost too simple and too obvious. Like, it is literally that simple and that obvious. Yeah. If a prophet were to be sent today to Britain, we know that that's not going to happen. But if a prophet were to be sent today to the United Kingdom, that prophet would be an English-speaking gentleman, right? Like, literally, right? We're speaking English. And whoever was sent to whichever prophets were sent to different places, no prophet ever changed their language to communicate with their people, nor did they have to learn a new language to communicate with their people, right? Nor did revelation, nor did their prayer be in any other language than in the language that they were engaging. It was natural to them already. So even though it's a little bit chicken and egg, right? Which came first, the revelation or the messenger, right? It's a chicken and egg question. But in some senses, the way it seems to be communicated is that you got a messenger for these people in this time and place. So the language of revelation like follows, if you like, what is natural to that to that environment. Which is why I think that verse about the foreignness of or the potential foreignness of the Quran is very interesting. Because Allah is actually saying there was a possibility of us sending this Quran down in another language. But if we had made it in another language, they would have said, why aren't its verses clear to us? I mean, that would have been a valid excuse, a valid reason for them to say, well, we can't follow this message because this message is not clear. It's very important. And so this, to me, in an ironic kind of way, all of the verses in Arabic, all of the verses in the Quran that mention the fact that this is an Arabic Quran actually destroy the way in which so many Muslims engage with the Quran, which is only in Arabic when they don't know any Arabic. Because the point of engaging with it in Arabic, clearly at the time, or it being in Arabic, is because so that everyone can get it, everyone can understand, everyone can change as a result. But if your engagement with the Quran is not resulting in any kind of change, then by going through the Arabic, even when you're not either an Arab or you don't understand the Arabic, or you're not getting anything out of it, you are defeating the purpose of the message in the first place, which only becomes ever clearer when we look at other messages, other verses, sorry. And so fundamentally, every person is only left with two options. You only got two options. You're either going to learn Arabic, right? Or you have to engage with the translation. Now, again, this might seem so obvious to us here. I don't know, right? We're all in different parts of our journey. But there are countless numbers of people who do neither of the two. There are countless believers, Muslims, who do neither of the two. Neither do they learn Arabic, nor do they engage with it in translation. Now, that does not make sense. These verses themselves then don't justify that. Because how can you لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ? How can you apply your aql? How can you لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ? How can you draw lessons? Right? How يُحْدِثُ لَهُمْ ذِكْرًا? How does it bring about any kind of reminder for you? No, it doesn't. It doesn't fulfill any function for you at all. And so it's very important. And as I said, there's many other verses that illustrate this, which we'll come on to, that the purpose of the book is for us to understand the message, for us to change as a result. There is actually nowhere in the Quran where, and in fact, the point that the brother mentioned earlier, part of the point, which is about the fact that the word tilawa has a double meaning of recitation as well as following, right? It's almost ingrained into the very word itself. The very word for recitation, ingrained into that very word, is what? Is the fact that is the idea of following. And you can only follow, of course, when you have an understanding of what it is when you have an understanding basically of what it is that you're actually saying. Okay, so I just think it's just really important for us to appreciate this and to understand this, that for those who fear engaging with translation, yes, of course, anything, it doesn't matter if it's a Quran or anything, any statement of any human being, if translated, something will be lost. Correct? Right? Anything is lost in translation. Nothing translated is better than the original, because It's not better, because better or worse is subjective. The point being, you will lose something of the original sense in translation because of the specific nuances of language, you know, blah, 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 whatever else. Okay. Absolutely. But you are totally losing, right? If you engage it with Arabic without understanding, like that's just total loss, right? So at least with translation, maybe get 80%, 90%. I mean, I actually think that's a fair percentage. I think you literally get 80 or 90% of what the average person gets 80 or 90, 80 to 90% of what they need in translation, right? Literally 80 to 90% of what you need, you get it in translation. And do certain people in the community always, in any community, need to excel in their language and in the original? And absolutely, of course. I'm not advocating for us not doing that, right? And I've spent too much of my life learning Arabic not to propose it to anybody else. I propose it to all of you. Go learn Arabic, go and learn. But if you're not going to, then don't feel bad about engaging with the translation. Know that doing so is closer to the purpose of the original than to mindlessly engage. And I know many of you all here because you want to understand more. So maybe this is stating the obvious, but there are lots of remnants of this kind of classical, sometimes cultural kind of engagement, which are either with us or our families, communities, which are really nonsensical. And then you get these nonsensical arguments being promoted. Oh, no, it's fine. It's all good. Yeah, because alif is a letter, lam is a letter, mim is a letter. So we get reward for everything that we recite. But remember, that narration about reward for recitation is in the context of an Arabic speaking and understanding people. They already understand what it means. So clearly now engage. All that's saying is engage with it, because the more, every letter you engage with is you're rewarded for. But guess what? Every English letter that you engage with, you're also rewarded for. Of course. Are you going to reduce the mercy of your Lord to say that someone who tries to engage with the language, the meaning of the Quran, to learn and to understand, to change themselves, they won't get the reward for the A and the L and the M, right? Of course they will. Of course, who's going to say that no, Allah will not reward this person because they're trying to engage with the English because they don't understand Arabic and they want to know what was said so that they can learn more. It's a very, very important point. Very important point for us to appreciate and to understand. So summary, yeah, go learn Arabic. But if you're not going to learn Arabic, don't undermine for yourself or for anyone else engagement in translation so that you can absorb the message and improve as a result. Okay.